You guys sing Grace Marlin? You got that Dusty Cup later? Kick ass, man. Somebody hit my music.
Welcome.
And here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Balking Dead, where we don't need no music, as our show did start a tad bit late today due to the Cappers contest going a little long, but that's okay, guys, because at the end of the day, Big Show, me, we members too, guys, and we want to vote. Our fucking vote counts. It may not count in the presidential race. That's another debate, and I ain't here for that. But what we here are for is the Balking Dead, fellas, and it's Thursday, which a lot of people are talking NFL opening day, and I get it. Who don't love football? And I'll see you later on for the Pub Sports live stream as well when we do the Thursday night football. But at the moment, we have 5 spots on the board for us to talk, as well as Jack of the Day. So we have only had one losing day in September, and I would like it to keep it that way. So enough small talk. Let's get to the monies. This show is sponsored by W, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by scanning the QR code on screen, you get 10% on your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Pub Sports, of course. If you haven't already, do me a favor and smash that like button, as well as make sure you have the notification bells on. Make sure you do hashtag We Be Pubbin in your best bet or in any questions you want me to answer at the end of the show. And I will run through the chat and look for those hashtags so I know which ones to read out. It's part of the show, guys, where we talk of some hitting, specifically some yoppers. Some call it a home run, but on this show, we call it Jack of the Day with Connor Mack.
Well, see you later.
What's good, my guy? It's Thursday night football. It's freaking baseball. They give us a nice clean slate to attack with some good pitching to go with, and a couple sweep spots for a couple 90-win teams that we're going to be talking about with you and with me. So how you been?
I'm good. I'm ready to roll. Like you said, we got football in just a few hours. And God, I think the game will be good. I do have some props in that game.
Well, at the end of these baseball props, touch on the football props. We got to get your football action while we're here. We'll talk that at the end. So let's get right into the first game, and it's the first game up, and I'm going to talk one side of this, and that's Braxton Garrett. And we've got the Marlins versus the Dodgers, where the Dodgers are looking to get swept by these Miami Marlins. Are you looking at a Dodger?
Yeah, listen. What do you, real quick, about Garrett before you get into it? You like his over or under Ks when you get into it? Just real fast.
I think, well, the problem with me is this is as close to a back-to-back scenario as you can get for me, where I look at his 15 days as a back-to-back and what he just seen them 17 days. So I specifically need to see the lineup, and if I can back Braxton Garrett at all, I'm going to have to need 3 different Dodgers in the game, or else in this lineup than that we're not in it last time, or else I'm just going to let it be. But my lefties have been beating Dodgers' asses, bro. Like, yeah, their numbers say they're good, but Max Fried, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. Luzardo just went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, as well as there was another pitcher in my book that's also hummed versus them. Oh, Braxton Garrett was the other one in the last month, where the only one that they did hit was James Paxton. So this being almost like a back-to-back tells me he can get hit, and I'm scared to death of Braxton today.
Yeah, what do we do? And in that start, I think he gave up a couple solo homers, if I'm not, to Mookie.
Gave up 3 runs.
3 runs in there. I'm going back here to the Marlins. Those numbers are good. We talk about every day. Betts and Freeman. Mookie finally cooled off the last couple days. Watch him. He's so streaky. Obviously the good numbers, but when he was rolling, you know how it is, Sharpie. Home runs in bunches. He's kind of going a lull. Dodgers right now, everything's wrapped up. They're a little bit on cruise control. Really want to get healthy. We need pitching. A couple problems have arise with the Dodgers, so they need that. But let's get over to the Marlins and let's see if they can get to Pepio. This guy's been really good, Sharpie, and maybe the Dodgers are going to need him to start in the playoffs. And he was probably going to be good here today. But I have to go back to it here. We're going to go back to Arise. He had the big double yesterday that cashed. He's just seen him slightly 3 for 4. And when I see his 1.5 at plus 120, they say he's going to pitch well. I got to be on him. He's already 3 for 4 off him. I'm back on him again. This one was big for me. I'm going to be on a couple things. I have to wait for Will Smith to be catching here. I don't have the Dodger lineup because I want a guy who's been red hot. And Jazz Chisholm, back-to-back games with home runs. He's in the 4-hole, couple stolen bases, and we all know how Will Smith can't really throw anybody out. Not that he's horrible. A lot of it's been on some of the pitchers.
Barnes got yesterday, bro. So
he should be in.
Back Barnes, they rarely would do that.
They rarely do it. Will Smith is in, plus 400. Chisholm to swipe a bag. And look at this. It's so low. It's crazy. Back-to-back days with hits. His just over half a base is minus 135 with Jazz Chisholm here. So I think he gets a knock there. If you want to sprinkle the home run, that'd be 3 straight days. It's plus 700. But as long as Will Smith's in, the stolen base plus 400 and over the half at minus 135.
Yeah, I can't back Pepio myself. I don't bet trends. I'm not into, they're in a sweep spot, I have to bet the Dodgers. I'll look if my guy's there and if there's a way to back it, or I'll let it go. I just won't take the other side to win the game. Like, I didn't bet Max yesterday, but I didn't take the Astros to win. I ended up betting Verlander's K prop, but I couldn't take the Astros in that spot, but they ended up kicking the dog shit out of them. But I wasn't going to be betting. I wasn't going to fade a spot that hits at a crazy rate. And these are 90-plus win teams. Granted, the Dodgers are on the road about to get swept with a guy who's looked really good in his 14 innings, but I've never been sold on Pepio.
Yeah.
Peapot. I call him old Peapot.
Peapot.
I said his name wrong, bro. I just didn't want to read his name.
I like it.
Name the first time I seen it. Oh, I felt like a jackass. But let's head on into another game where they're looking to get swept, but this time this team's at home and another 90-win team. And wow, this is actually blows my mind that Wainwright's actually had 2 really good starts versus this team the last 2 years, as we've got Max Fried coming in for the Braves. What's gonna give here? Who you on?
I'm on a Brave here. Orlando Arcia in this one. Over 1.5. Plus 130 is the best number I got. I was looking at a 125. I got a 130 earlier. He's 8 for 21 off Wainwright, 4 doubles. These are the prices I want. Last week, I don't mind. Harris is 3 for 3 off Wainwright. You could look his way. We had him last week, Sharpie. Big home run, 700, and the 1.5 at 155. Huge. So I don't mind looking at him too, but I love the numbers with Arcia here, and I put a little on the jack, which is plus 600. And Harris is similar. His is like 115, his 1.5, and his jack 600 as well. But I'm on Arcia here.
I'm going to be looking to back me some Max Fried one way or the other, as in how you get a 320, 350 down. You just bet the guy to win the game. So we go ahead on into another game where I hope just the D-backs lose because I don't like the D-backs, and it is what it is. And I hope the Cubs win because I am a Bellinger fan. So who you looking at in the D-backs and Cubs?
You hit it. You said his name, Cody Bellinger. We have to just continue to be on him, Sharpie. 12 out of his last 13 games, at least a base hit in that. Pretty wild for a guy like him, especially the last few years. And Nelson, is he due maybe to have a good start? The win here at Wrigley, I think it's as long as it's under 10, we're okay. And I basically have 8 and 9, in this game. And Nelson on the road, just, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great really anywhere. He's had some decent starts throughout the year. But listen, the guy's ERA is almost 6. So the main bet, Bellinger, I won a 150. I got it. RBI 150. And put a little on the jack. Obviously, the conditions aren't great, but plus 500, I put on his jack as well.
Okay. Luke, I'll get to those questions at the end, but you actually got a very legitimate question on what teams are going to do with their pitchers. You just got to know which teams and which pitchers they're going to let go and which teams will hold them back. So I'll talk that at the end. Real quick, guys, quick little recap of Jack of the Day before we talk a little football props with our boy C-Mac. And we're going to talk Marlins versus the Dodgers. The best hitter in the game since he's been in the game. And And we're talking Luis Arias over 1.5 at +120. And the stolen base look, as long as Will Smith is behind the dish, he's going to look at Jazz Chisholm at +400 that way. Then he's going to head on in over to a Wainwright versus Max Fried, where Wainwright's coming back home, guys. That's another angle I will talk about. But he's going to go off a guy who does see him well, and Orlando Arcia over 1.5 at +130, as well as sprinkle his home run at +600. He's going to end his day, guys, with my favorite Cub. He's still on the wall in Dodger blue in multiple different spots in this house. And that's Cody Bellinger, guys, versus the Diamondbacks. And did you go over 1.5 with him or his home run?
Over 1.5. Or no, Bellinger, the RBI.
Okay.
150. I went with
RBI.
And the Jack I put at 500.
Let's go, Cody. Keep it up with them belly bumps. Go get paid, Cody. You are on your way right now. My cat is about to.
Yeah, Barnes is in. I am off. I see it. I got the lineup. I still think he could swipe a bag, but I wanted Will Smith in there, Sharpie.
Yes. Well,
dude, with him in, that was the bet.
You got to keep your game plan and stick to it in certain
props,
bro. You were picking on a guy with a slow pop time.
Yep.
So let's talk football, bro. I love fucking football. Who you looking at? And I'll tell you the one thing I do got going.
All right, let's get to it. Let's go to the Lions here side and get.
You said Lions, bro. You got Big Show hyped.
Yeah, let's get to it. You know, it could be slow for the Lions to get going. And obviously, I'm on St. Brown is the guy. We'll see what happens. But I think maybe as the second half gets going, the passing yards come. Might not be crazy. But I thought this number was too low. He's basically the number 2 wideout here. Marvin Jones Jr., oldest receiver in the NFL, which is at 33 years old. It's not that old, but I saw that the other day. I thought it was a little bit crazy. His receiving yards are 27.5. As the number 2, I think he gets plenty of catches I think he makes a couple big plays. 27.5 receiving yards, and I got +105. I see a lot of 28s now. It hasn't moved just a little bit, and maybe it moves more as we get closer. But 27.5 there, Sharpie. I think he collects that as a new target here, back with the Lions, Marvin Jones Jr. Flip side, my other prop is with the Chiefs here. Pacheco, I'm going to take him on the ground to get over 49.5. Yes, he was out. Everything seems clear that I've gone through the last couple of days that he is ready to go. Obviously, McKinnon will get some of this, but week 1 here, the Lions got better as the year went on, Sharpie, but we all know they were 29th against the run last year, and they gave up 147 yards, and that improved because they were really bad at the beginning of the year. But I think the Chiefs can – yeah, they did. But I think the Chiefs would run the ball a little bit, depending on if Kelsey's in or not. He still has some new receivers as well.
He's already ruled out.
I mean, I didn't think he was going to play with the knee. I mean, I haven't looked in an hour or two, but yeah, they said he was basically doubtful, questionable.
I thought I got something saying he was out.
Did you just see it? Okay. But Pacheco, I'm on his 49.5 rushing yards. I think they got to feed him a bit. I think he gets probably 15 carries, and I think he gets that.
That's still uncertain, I guess. So maybe somebody lied to me, but yeah. So the only freaking prop I have in personally is I have a half unit on Mahomes rush yards. Even though all the legal books have like 14.5 at Caesars or 17.5 everywhere else, I had to pay 18.5, and oh well, is what it is. My cap is he's going over his average over his last 2 years in a game, which is 21 yards a game. And especially with either Kelsey on a snap count or not in the game versus a Lions team who was 4th best in the league at putting points on the board, I think this guy goes over his average on opening night in front of the whole wide fucking world. So just Lions score points, and Mahomes is going to keep up with himself. So I expect him to run the ball as long as the Lions are scoring. Now, if they rout the Lions, he ain't going to fucking run. The only game he's ever played without Kelsey, they routed the Pittsburgh Steelers 36-10, and he didn't run one time. So I need points from the Lions, and Mahomes is dancing, let me tell you.
Hey, I always think taking his rushing props a solid look, especially under 20, like you just mentioned.
Right, but you want to give me under a man's average when I know he's healthy? Like, in a game where the whole world's watching, and they're saying he can't win because Kelsey's not there. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I appreciate you, my guy, bro. I can't wait. Are you going to be popping on the live stream tonight or no?
Yeah, I should be. I got a few things to do today, but yeah, I will try to hop on.
I will be on there at halftime from the end on, as I like to enjoy watching the game with the sound on, as I'm really good at betting these props at the half, and I don't like being distracted. I want to watch, pay attention, and understand what the fuck is going on in the game, and then take that blueprint and make money off of it, bro, because you just have what's going on. Like, give me the Chiefs down 2 scores at the half. Because then I'm slapping my biggest bet on McKinnon's Russian receiving yards, because he's the freaking scat back and he's going to be in the whole game after that. So they're up by 2 scores. Give me Pacheco's rush attempts. There's so many ways once you have the blueprint sitting in front of you to take advantage of the books, man. And I that's the way I've been putting my bigger bets in, was gimme. So I told Mike I'd be on at halftime every time he's on for him. So, yeah, let's just keep it going, keep it rolling, and let's have a fucking blast today. It's opening day. Let them know where to find you, what you got going on.
Just here, Pub Source Radio. You know it. Check out our college football. Hitting the books. They're all cut up. Watch the regular show or watch them all individually. Get it before Saturday, which is huge. Someone just mentioned in the chat, Arise, I'm back on it. Plus 120 is 1.5. The Chisholm's just half a base at 135. You know, I'll take it. It's not 1.5. Someone put in there.
Yep. Yeah, I never was on Lynn yesterday, my guy. But yep. It was either Lynn's unders K-prop or his outs over. And it was the under on K-prop, and I left Lynn alone because there was too many guys hitting and too many guys who had his number. Too many guys had his number in that lineup that weren't hitting, where the other guys were hitting. And I was like, past history means something. Didn't make no money on his under, though, but that was an easy under on a strikeout that I passed up on. But not losing money is better than not winning money. So it is what it is, bro.
Hell yeah.
See you tonight, tomorrow, the next day, and on, because we're always here on Pub Sports.
Well, see you later.
This show, guys, you already know, we will talk about the first line opened up on a K-prop. Also, the best line available 30 minutes prior to this show. Then we will see where the value lies between the books and PrizePicks. Of course, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. So if you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PubSports and get a match deposit on your first deposit up to $100, minimum of $25. If you like what you're hearing, smash the like button, guys. And if you want me to read out your best bet at the end of the day, hashtag we be pubbing in it, or hashtag we be pubbing in any questions, and I will give you my opinion. First guy on the board is Braxton Garrett versus my Dodgers. Number 59 in the black book is striking people out at a 23.5% clip while walking people 4% on the year. Morning line was 4.5 plus 125 on DraftKings, and that's still the best line available, but now on BetMGM. PrizePicks has him at a flat 4, whereas hits allowed under over are at a flat 5. Projected lineup it came out, so let's go see what the Dodgers ran. 1, 2, 7 righties, 2 lefties is what they ran. That was the projected. That's what they got. We start the day, guys, talking Braxton Garrett versus the Dodgers, being the second time seeing this team, where back just on August 19th in Los Angeles, he went 6 innings, 3 earned runs with 6 strikeouts. And this, guys, is as close to a back-to-back scenario with it just barely being over 15 days. As I like to treat it, guys, like a back-to-back if it does fall under that time span. And if we look at the Dodgers' numbers versus lefties over their last 200 plate appearances, they are walking league average, hitting the ball with a nice team isolated power of 180, yet striking out 24% of the time. But I'm going to tell you that just don't make sense. As the 4 lefties they have seen in that time span that I would bet on was this man right here, who went 6 innings with 6 strikeouts. Max Fried had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings, where we backed Jesus Luzardo's outs the other day. He went 6 innings with 6 strikeouts as well. The only one they did get to was James Paxton, who just went 4 innings and had 4 strikeouts that day. So all in all, guys, versus every lefty I would put my money on, they're 3-1, whether it's to the outs or the strikeouts over when facing these Dodgers over the last, 20 days under that time span. So what do we do here, guys? So I really need to wait for this lineup because, yes, the overall number says they're hitting, but when I ran this lineup one by one, there was only 2 guys hitting in this whole lineup when they faced Luzardo, and that was Rojas and Betts versus lefties, where everyone else just wasn't really seeing the ball right now. So for the most part, I did want to back his outs, guys, and at 16.5, I was like, whoa, is that a little low? I've seen this guy be a 17.5 the last few weeks and cash those. So what's going on here? At first, it did give me pause, guys. And then I go over to sites that I use like Covers, and I check on how they have lined his outs prop over the last 10 games. So he's only averaging just 5.1 innings over his last 10. And when he's faced teams that are tougher versus lefties, they have actually dropped him down from the 17.5, guys, as he was a 15.5 versus the Dodgers 3 weeks ago, as he cashed that, guys, as well as he was a 15.5 versus teams like the Astros. So they do drop him down. Now, the team that they didn't drop him down versus and that he cashed on back-to-back weeks was the Nationals, guys. Now, was the strikeouts there? No. But did he pitch a great quality start? Go over the innings pitched? Yes. Now, what do the Nationals do? Nationals swing at first pitch more than anybody else. So another thing that I will be looking at to see if I want to bank on his outs today or just let him be, guys, because I can't back him to win because the Dodgers are in a sweep spot. And my rule is you either go with the other side if you can find a way to back them, or you just let it go on the money line type side. So I'm not a Ryan Pepio type guy, so I'm just going to let it go. Now, what I do know is my Dodgers ain't been the Dodgers everybody thinks, especially versus lefties, guys. So one by one through the lineup, give me 3 people or less that are hitting lefties, and I will go look to back Braxton Garrett's outs over once again. Like Connor was saying, he got hit for a couple solo home runs the last time out, and a couple were by one of the hottest hitters on the planet named Mookie Betts. No harm, no foul when you're betting a guy to go on his outs when he gives up solo home runs. It's those 30-pitch innings that are brutal, bro. Like, get that first pitch yopper out the way, dog, because no harm, no foul. What did freaking Justin Verlander do yesterday, guys? If you follow me on Twitter, you saw we tweeted out the video. We took Verlander's strikeouts over. We cashed in the 6th inning. He went 7. And he gave up a first pitch home run. All right, cool, great. What did he freaking do? I didn't bet you to win the game. I bet you either your outs or your strikeouts. So, yeah, I will be looking to either take his outs and or just let him go, as this team is really tough to strike out to lefties. But they do have guys like Taylor, Hernandez, and Barnes in this lineup who actually will strike out every now and again, as they do have a power type swing, as they're swinging for doubles, home runs. And when you do shit like that, you strike out. So give me 3 different Dodgers that are in the lineup today that last time, and I can look towards the K prop. If not, I will be, looking to back his outs if I got a team swinging first pitch. Now we're going to get into the next guy on the board, and this is where we got a bet. Luis Castillo at the Rays, La Parada Day, number 22 in the black book, striking people out this year 27% of the time, while walking people 6% of the time. Morning line was 7+ -102 on FanDuel, where the best line available is now on DraftKings at even money. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5, whereas hits allowed under over are at a flat 5. Lineups out, 5 lefties, 4 righties. Now we get a double get back day with Luis Castillo versus the Rays. As guys, only 4 times this year has Castillo given up 4 runs or more. And in the next game, he gave up 3 runs 1 time, while nothing less than 1 in the other 3. And the other part of this get back part, guys, as he did give up more than 4 earned runs last week, is one of the games this year that he gave up more than 4 earned runs was versus these Rays. This man right here is coming into this game with 2 chips on his shoulder, with 2 pistols out, guys, and we got what we need to get in. So let's talk, guys. Do we want to get in or not, guys? And I needed lineups, guys, and with the projected lineup, I was willing to fire. And then they just gave me one other guy, switched him out. And granted, Siri was a walking 2 strikeouts, maybe, anywhere from 1 to 4. They gave me a guy from anywhere from 1 to 3 himself. So I'm not scared. As we've had the key guys to bet Luis Castillo, and I am on his over 6.5 strikeouts. I had to pay minus 112 because I have an offshore, and it is what it is. I don't care about the juice I pay if the prop's going to hit in cash. So just get in the car, no seatbelt needed. As in, we have 6 guys in this lineup, 5 of them with and chase worse than 1.5% combined than league average. I mean, each one in both categories, guys. It's just like, yeah. And then the other guy, guys, he's just league average, 1.5% worse than league average in the other compartment, where we only have 2 guys that are considered elite in both compartments, yet have actually struck out versus him in the past with a few past history versus him. So God forbid if we even get one versus Diaz or Paredes, where he's had 1 strikeout and 3 at bats and 2 and 6 versus Paredes, and Diaz being the first one. We fucking even get one from though, dude. He shatters this 7, in my opinion. As I'm banking on 6 other guys in this lineup that can each give us a golden sombrero, as in they whiff, as in they don't make contact when they chase, adds into a bad day for these Rays, especially when we got a pissed off Luis Castillo coming into this, guys. So give me Luis Castillo on double get back day versus a team who whiffs and doesn't make contact when they chase. Now we get into a probably best pitching matchup of the day if we're going to talk pitching. But man, can what these bats do to this man right here is a little bit scary. We're going to talk Eduardo Rodriguez at the Yankees, number 60 in the black book, is striking people out with a 24.5% clip, while walking people 6.5% of the time. Open them up 5.5 minus 110 on DraftKings, where the best line available to that 5.5 is now on FanDuel. And that's where they got him as well on PrizePicks, whereas pitching outs is over at a 17 on PrizePicks. Lineup is out. It is 9 righties and 0 lefties for your Yankees. And did they put him in there or not? They didn't. The Yankees really are fucking stupid, but we'll talk about it. Now we get, guys, Erod at the Yankees in his old division. So we're going to have some past history, guys, to look at, as he was a Red Sox for a long time. And if we look at the overall numbers versus lefties from these Yankees, it says they're smashing the ball and striking out at 25% of the time. Well, I ran the projected lineup, which happens to be the exact lineup they sent out, granted maybe in different pieces and different orders that they were projected to be in. But we got it. And they're fucking hammering lefties with a near 300 isolated power. The K percentage drops below league average to just 22% of their at-bats. So let's just go check up this past history in this lineup, guys. As Judge and Stanton just don't see this man in their career. They've had a combined 64 at-bats and have struck out 37.5% of the time, as well as Judge being the best at hitting him with a whopping 188 career batting average, and Stanton being below 100. Shit, guys, even DJ LeMahieu, guys, has struck out 26.5% of his 26 at-bats versus Erod, but he's crushing him with a 346 batting average. Gleyber Torres, we know he's going to be in the 4 spot today, as they did bump Stanton back, as he just doesn't see this man at all. They should have gave him a day off. But even Gleyber Torres, guys, the guy who don't strike out on the Yankees, has struck out 22% of his 31 at-bats. Well, the only other guy that was in this lineup that's seen him, guys, is Higashioka, and he's also struck out the 33rd% of his 6 at-bats. So there is some freaking K percentage in this lineup here, guys. Now, just the fact is do you want to get involved? Do you want to get involved with the volatility here? And the volatility being in the Yankees versus lefties, the Yankees and what they've been doing versus lefties. And I myself haven't pulled the trigger. If I was to make this line strictly based off of win percentages and the overall Yankee numbers, This would have been like a minus 140, minus 150. Now, the fact that they have it at a 5.5, where last week I understood them dropping the 5.5 because of the past history said no. The past history says he can hit his K percentage. And we all know you can get your ass kicked and still hit your K percentage and still hit your strikeouts. Now, if this dude goes 6 innings, he should have 6 strikeouts versus this past history. Whether these Yankees are not striking out or not, they just have struck out to this man. And a lot of them have seen him a lot of times. It's not no chump change of an amount. So, at the end of the day, guys, I got to lean to the over. I don't have a bet on it, as I am afraid of this dude getting sausage today, guys. I really am. So, if he goes over 6, he should easily have 6. Even if he gets his ass kicked, we know you can hit. So, just being a little more safe than sorry. And wouldn't be surprised if he hits his strikeout prop today at the end of the day. Then we get into the other side of this matchup. Y'all know this, my boy, though. Y'all know Rodon, my boy. Number 5 in the black book versus Big Show's Tigers. His career, guys, as he hasn't had enough games this year, he's striking people out 26% of the time while walking people 9% of the time. Opened him up 5.5 on DraftKings at minus 110, where the best line available now is on minus 128 at FanDuel to that 5.5, where PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, and his hits allowed on PrizePicks are under over 5. Lineup is out. We have 8 righties, 1 lefty. On the other side, guys, of the best pitching matchup of the day is Carlos Rodon, and he gets a home matchup with the Tigers. And when we look at their overall numbers versus lefties over the past 200 plate appearances, we have to go back 30 days just to get 158. And if you don't know me, I will never go past 30 days, and I will never really look to go past 200 to 230 if I can get it before the 30 days. As in this time span, the Tigers are walking top 5 in the league versus lefties. They're hitting the ball with a nice team isolated power of 180, yet striking out 27% of the time. And let's go see who they've faced in that time span in the month that I would bet on. We've got Big Fram Diesel, who was the Titty Capper play of the day. He went 7 innings, 0 earned runs, yet only had 6 strikeouts and cashed on the 120th pitch of the game, which was his last pitch of the game. Logan Allen, he went 6 innings, 2 earned runs with 5 strikeouts, where Chris Sale went 4.2 innings on a pitch count, struck out 7 on 68 pitches. And I'm struggling, guys, with why the fuck is Rodon at a 5.5 at a bettable juice? Since coming off the IL, he has been a 5.5 to teams who don't strike out, like the Nationals, like the Astros. And it's been a 6.5 to teams that do strike out to lefties, like the Rays. And we've got a team striking out to lefties, and they give us a 5.5. And they gave it to us at a bettable juice. Do you guys get to know where I'm going with this? As I'd hate to say this, guys, as he's one of my favorite guys to bet on, one of my favorite guys to watch, but so was Strider, and Strider fell face first in these titties, guys. And that's what Carlos Rodon is looking like he is today, guys, is the Titty Capper play of the day. And we're not saying it's going to hit. We're not going to say that it's just 100. Nothing's 100%, guys. But at the end of the day, you either got to fade it or let it go, as the books are right more often than not, and a lot more right, guys. So at the end of the day, they're begging for the over money right here in a spot where this just shouldn't be a 5.5. And they also sat there and begged for that over money with something with Framber Valdez as well, and he cashed it on his last pitch of 120 pitches. The Yankees ain't going to let Carlos Rodon go 120 fucking pitches, I'll tell you that. He ain't gone past 100 near all year, guys. They are going to baby this man. They're not in no pennant race or a playoff race. He's get some innings to get to next year type. And I don't know what's going on here. The line's straight off, and because of that, I can't fuck with the K prop. But what I can fuck with, and what I will look to fuck with, is bet this man's outs over 15.5 at plus 130. Now, I don't have money on it yet, as the lineups just came out, and I want to go one by one through these lefties and see how they're hitting. If they're not hitting, I'm going to take his outs over, as that's exactly where it should be for a guy who ain't really been going over, but we've played his outs versus the Rays. We played his K prop. We played his outs a few times, guys. And this may be a spot where even if the books don't want me to bet the K's, it don't mean I can't bet him. Don't mean he ain't going to have a good game. And I might just go Tigers team total under 1.5 first 5. And that might be the way I attack it. I will tweet out a video on the way I bet Rodon or anybody else that I'm waiting on lineups, as the lineups came out for a couple of these guys about 10 minutes before, and takes me a lot more than 10 minutes, as I just don't go to Fangraphs and type in a damn lineup like a lot of people do, guys. I'll do that. Then I'll go one by one, and then I'll go start going and looking for the keys, and then I'll go start freaking stars and highlights and stars and seeing if the lineup construction says I can get in. So, is what it is. Due diligence is what's needed. And I will tweet out any other action besides the over 6.5 strikeouts I have on Luis Castillo. The last guy that, as we are going to talk about today, that's a guy I love to bet too. It happens to be a theme today, guys. It's Lefty Thursday. 4 of the 5 guys we talked about in the Black Book today are lefties. Yet the 1K prop I bet was the righty. La Pareda, baby. Excuse me. Let's talk about Max Fried versus the Cardinals, number 63 in the Black Book. Career-wise, he's striking people out 24% of the time while walking people 6.5. Just not enough games to go off this year, even though it is actually a little better than his career-wise, so there's nothing to knock it. Opening him up at 6+ minus 130 on DraftKings to the best line available to that 5.5 is on minus 136 on FanDuel. And PrizePicks has him as a 6, whereas hits allowed on PrizePicks are under over 5.5. Lineup is 8 righties and 1 lefties. So we end the day, guys, with the Braves at home in a sweep spot with an ace on the mound in Max Fried versus the not so much of an ace nowadays in Adam Wainwright, who happens to be a Georgia native making his last start of his Hall of Fame career in Atlanta. Now, if you look at how some of these Braves have hit him in the past, it sure doesn't match up with the box score of the last 2 times he's seen them in 2021 and in 2022, where he dominated these Braves both times, going 6.2 innings or longer, never giving up more than 2 earned runs with 1 earned run in the other game, guys. And that gave me some pause, guys, on Waino, as in his career, guys, he dominated the Padres. And what did he fucking do to the Padres last week? Went out there and did the damn thing. So, how do we back up Max Fried, who's a minus 320 to a 350, depending on your book? I mean, shit, guys. He's in a sweep spot in an ace versus a fade type pitcher, guys. So, once I run the lineups, I'm either going to go Max Fried's outs, and I'm going to take him over, or I'm going to take him to win the game, as it is humid as fuck in Atlanta. So I don't know if I really want to fuck with the win spot, guys, as they have a combined over 13 home runs in this series right now, the last 2 games. It's humid. The ball's flying, guys. And that may keep me just on his outs, guys, as you can get popped for a home run or 2 and still go 6, especially if it's humid. You just got to stick away from those bad 30-pitch innings and just keep it around the league average, 15 or 20 at the most. And Max Fried, guys, is a guy that I like to run his outs more than his strikeouts, as he don't give a fuck about the strikeouts. He is an ace, and there's very few aces in this league, meaning, guys, he wants to go deep. He wants to give his team the best chance at winning the game. And when you look to strike people out, you waste pitches. That's just the game. You're going to run your pitch count up. And there's a reason why his hits are at 5.5, because they are projecting him to go deep. And this guy's the master at the double play. He's a true 4-pitch pitcher. He will get his weak ground balls when needed, and he will look for weak contact and only go for the strikeouts if he has to. He is not the guy to waste pitches, guys. Now, if you have a runner on second and third, that's when you got to look for the punch-outs. Now, the ball's flying. It's humid. There may be lots of guys on second and third, guys. So that actually may be a way to attack his K-prop as well, as I can't look under, guys, even versus a Cardinals team. If you look at their numbers over the last 200 plate appearances, they are hitting bottom 10 isolated power, striking out 25% of the time. As well, if we take in the past history of the projected lineup, We have 5 guys with at least 5 at-bats and upwards to 16, and they're striking out at a 23.5% clip, where their 2 best hitters in Arenado and Goldschmidt, they're batting either 200 or below, guys, in a decent amount of bats versus Fried. So the wind is blowing out some. It is humid, but I've got to look to back Fried right here, guys, in this type of spot of being swept at home, and they're a 90-win team with Max Fried on the mound. So I'm either going to look to take him to win, or I'm going to look to bet his outs over, because this guy looks to go deep, looks to give his team the best chances at winning a game. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in on Thursday. We actually had us a deep little chat today, guys. So without you guys, there ain't us. 60 plus live, 40 plus likes. You guys freaking rock. The only bet I have in right now is Luis Castillo over 6.5 strikeouts for a full unit. As the lineups came out and I wanted to run them on Carlos Rodon, look towards his outs, or look towards the Tigers team total under first 5, as well as he is the titty capper play of the day to the over 5.5 strikeouts, where I also want to look to back Max Fried in a get back type of situation where it's, not a get back, it's a sweep spot for a 90-win team at home with an ace on the mound. So I will be tweeting out my actions with videos that I do put in, as I will also be jumping on the live bet stream tonight on Pub Sports Radio, hosted by Ribeyes from Mike himself. Pip Slap play of the day, guys. So go tune in, give him some love, as he's starting to get a little love on the YouTube from the other peoples, and that's fucking great, bro. So if you don't know, I am the best halftime prop capper to ever walk God's green earth, guys. Give me a blueprint to a football game with what's going on. And it's understanding what type of packages are going to be out there, who's in those packages, and how that coach is going to run it being down, guys. And this is just information that you pick up on. And I've just learned, I put half unit bets pregame, and I go hard halftime. So if you want my halftime action, tune the fuck in today, guys, as that's when I will be jumping on the live stream, is at halftime, and hanging out for the rest of the stream as we cash our prop, hopefully in the third quarter. Now, if I take a rushing attempts prop, that'll be in the fourth quarter, as I'm expecting that team to ground out the clock when it's all said and done. But the score will tell us how to bet. That's the best part about waiting till the half. You get better numbers on 80% of the guys out there. Yes, one guy's going to blow up. So what? If it's a shitty guy, they're going to disrespect him and only put 10 yards on him, like he won't do it again. So there's ways to take advantage. I found my way is to take advantage of them at the half. Let's run through the chat, guys, and read out people's best bets and talk about what people are giving out. Truth Teller's best bet today is over 3.5 full game at plus 130. Or I don't know what game that is. So I don't know what that is, Truth Teller. Wish I could call it out. So maybe you're in here, maybe you're not. We got people on. Faded the glass now under yesterday. Fuck yeah, bro. Good job. Put a small bid on his 8+ K all pro. Yeah, I told you, I don't know how he was going to get 9. That dude had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings of work, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, that was the other titty capper play of the day. There was 2 of them out there yesterday. It was Strider, it was Glass now, and the books cleaned up. Unless you watch this show, then you know you either go with or stayed away when the Chi-Chis are out. Justin McElvoy's best bet today, he's going to take Jahmyr Gibbs over 79.5 rushing receiving yards at plus 109. I've got some inside information on Jahmyr Gibbs, bro, so hopefully he's out there and getting playtime, because he was not picking up pass blocks in the preseason and at practices, and was looking towards the demotion part. And David Montgomery is their number 1, guys. He is a stud, and I've always loved me some number 1s. But let's get it. We be pubbing. Mookie bets over 1.5 bases for our boy Rocco Rogers at minus 115. We are looking for a few more best bets. And yes, Luke Murphy, you asked about all the teams who have already clinched. Will they look to have rest their starters or their pitch counts and save them for playoffs? Certain guys will be rested. Certain guys will not be. You need to know what's going on with people, like their pitch count situation, their inning situation. We talked about with Strider. He's past his innings. If he gets hit hard, they're yanking him out the game. Where if Fat Lance hits hard, we've pretty much already clinched the playoffs, and he's an innings eater for us. So he's probably going to go 5 unless he just can't go 5. They're going to just force him out there to get his freaking head clacked in. So certain situations call for watching, and just sometimes you just got to let them go because, yeah, JP Sears fucked me yesterday, and that guy is past his innings limit a little bit, and it looks like they're babying him. And it looks like they babied him on my dollar, bro, as they pulled him at 75 pitches and humming versus the Blue Jays. And I needed like 3 more outs, which was definitely in the cards, but not in what the Oakland A's had planned that day. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you do smash that like if you haven't. Young Vaughn's talking. Did he say Jazz 2+ bases? Nah, he was looking as over a half base is minus 130. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if they're saying he can't win, but we'll see if we can. Here we go. Justin McAlvoy, Rainwright, over 3.5 earned runs is on my card. All right. I see you. I'm definitely thinking he gets hit, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes out there and does the thing. Went for Strider. Hey, bro, I warned you about Strider yesterday, but that happens. Nobody's fucking perfect. What's your best bet today, as you have been hot as motherfucking shit? Best bets, we move on. Nothing for MLB. We got ourselves some motherfucking football. Well, put your best bet in football in there, bro, Mr. Nothing for MLB then. Give us a best bet in football, and we'll throw that out there as well, guys. So, everybody, appreciate you guys for tuning in. And smash that like as well as tune in tonight to the Pub Sports live bet stream as well, guys. Is check out this link. That Big Show is going to drop in the chat if he has the time. Me and him sat back for about 30 minutes and just bullshitted football, talked the betting lines, talked a couple scenarios of what ifs, and talked a couple bets, guys. Just not your normal bet stream, guys. It's 2 boys shooting the fucking shit, 2 boys who know each other like brothers, and 2 guys who don't have to agree on shit, bro. So later on days, guys, go check it out. He's starting a new podcast. I had to be the first one on there, as how can I not talk
I'll
football?
I'll drop the link in the chat if somebody wants to go check it out.
Drop it out, bro. They'll freaking check out the link, man.
It's the Twitter link. Go ahead and follow and check out that podcast. That's the NFL one. I just dropped the MMA one too, but been a little busy. Been just trying to catch up right now.
It's all good, man. This ain't like no normal bet podcast, guys. Like, literally, you'll enjoy the 30 minutes of us bantering of football. I guarantee it, guys. Like, guarantee it. Go check it out. Give the boys some love. And let's keep it rolling, guys. Let's stay hot. Let's not press. NFL does what, guys? It takes money from people. Be safe, guys. This is where the books make the most money. And I will be looking to bet more baseball when I have more than one game, because then you really get to capitalize on the other sports, because they just rake in fat type of money. Ed Seafoff's best bet, Seattle money line minus 120 on DraftKings. Let's keep it rolling. JT up in here. Didn't know you didn't know I was an NFL guy? Shit, dude. I've had like an NFL prop show on this channel for a year. Been doing this shit for a minute though, but come on, man. Props are props. I do them all. So, shout out to the chat, guys. We gonna fire when we need to fire, as keep firing, assholes.
Keep firing, assholes!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PupSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So